Hey, everybody. Welcome to our AI in Action workshop. My name is Rob Ganley, and I have with me Jennifer Brannicke. And we're going to go ahead and dive right in, and we're going to talk about integrating AI into your specific role. We're going to talk about franchises and franchise leaders. So let's jump in. All right, first and foremost, let's give you a little background on who we are. We're Franchise Now. Our team is a group of franchise experts. We've been involved in the industry for 25 plus years and really understand the technology marketing side of things as well as franchising. And we have a team of AI innovators. We're all very committed to AI. We've been in the industry even before ChatGPT, but very committed since the launch of ChatGPT in 2022 for sure. And of course, we have some proven success. We're going to talk to you about that today. A little bit about what we're doing and really how we can show you how AI can really transform your business one role at a time. Okay, so we've worked with some different people. We want you to know, again, we've been in the industry a long time, but we've worked with some different brands and not going to spend a lot of time, but just want you to know we are connected to the industry and have worked with a lot of different people in different ways. All right, so get a chance to meet your presenters. As I said, Jennifer is here with me. I'll hand it over to her in a minute. But basically, myself, again, as I mentioned, I started in the franchise industry after a tech career in technology and thought I wanted to start my own business and thought the best way to do it might be franchising. And that was in the early 2000s and immediately shifted my focus to using digital marketing to try to do my role as a franchise broker better. And that's what I first learned about as being a franchise consultant and broker. And I realized quickly that Google would really change the game. And I was one of the first, we were one of the first to really pioneer Google Ads and build a lead gen company around it. And then since then, we've been involved in SaaS companies and been part of the Franchise Bible and partnered with Entrepreneur Magazine. But we also have a podcast show called Franchise Marketing Radio. And so we basically know the industry, and we just want you to know we have the background, and we really focus on franchising as it relates to AI and technology and how it can change the game. So I'll hand it over to you, Jennifer. You want to give them a quick introduction?
Awesome. So yeah, I've been an educator for 10 plus years in the traditional school settings, as well as outdoor education and tutoring, coaching, mentoring, all those. I've really enjoyed my time, in some leadership experiences, having like over 5 years of guiding outdoor expeditions from backpacking to kayaking and really helping transform lives through beauty and the outdoors. I've gotten my certificate with Simple Academy through, with AI Black Belt Essentials and Efficiency courses, which we'll touch on a little bit today. And right now I'm the director of marketing for Franchise Marketing Radio and working as an AI transformation consultant. So happy to be here with you guys today.
That's great. Awesome. All right. We'll keep on going. We got some really cool stuff to show you. And so again, who is this for? Just want to make sure everybody that's here, first and foremost, take a minute or two, kind of get zeroed in. We're going to show you some things. If you haven't spent a lot of time with ChatGPT and AI, then this is probably going to be pretty interesting for you. So I know it's been a pleasure for me to be able to present these ideas because they are transformational, but it's for franchisors, franchisees, entrepreneurs, business owners, really honestly anyone that wants to lead something in their business, right? If you're in the business, maybe you're an employee of a business, you really want to take a leadership role here in AI, now's the time. But we're going to talk to you a little later about an AI role plan impact assessment. We're going to walk step by step through a way you can see how time and money is impacted in your specific role. So you can follow along with us and do the work along with us for your role. We're going to demonstrate a specific role here in a minute, but you can do it alongside us. And then at the very end, we're going to go ahead and offer you something called the AI Opportunity Assessment. And we're very proud of it. But bottom line is it'll help you get a roadmap for AI transformation. And that is something we'll talk about towards the end. So stay tuned for all of that. Okay, so why are we here? Well, obviously efficiency is one thing, right? And we're going to say efficiency, engagement, effectiveness. They're the three things that we know AI can really impact. So with efficiency, we're going to show you how team members in their roles can do new tasks and deliverables for you. If it's your team member or they're working for you, you can transform what they're doing, what they used to do in hours into minutes, or even days into hours, things like that. Engagement, we expect this will give you an opportunity to really get better engaged with your team, with your franchisees. You'll be able to use tools in a way that free up time and allow you to do things that are truly more impactful, higher, more valuable, right, to focus on. So more engagement will occur. And then effectiveness, of course, pretty much everything we do will be looking at processes and ways you're doing things today, or even new things, but either way, to get 10x output from those things. So we're going to really show you how to do that with some practical tools. Now, before we get much further, I also want to talk to you about the world around us. Now, AI itself is a humanity impacting technology. It's not just obviously about a business tool or a way to grow your business. It really is going to change all of our lives in both personal and professional. So we encourage you to dive in and really start to embrace it. So if you haven't, no worries. It's actually a great time to get focused. 2025 is the year. But the question might be, though, where are you? Or before I get into that, I wanted to kind of zero in on where we are from a technology point of view. So if you look at the very top, when ChatGPT was first launched, and several others beyond ChatGPT, such as Google and Facebook, have models as well. That first model were chatbots that you could interact with and just kind of chat or text, and then gives you text back, text in, text out. Then it kind of moved into improving those tools to be more capable of reasoning, right? Multi-step reasoning, thinking through multiple a deliverable that might take multiple steps, right? So we've kind of seen that come and pass. And now this last, say, 6 months, and even beyond really, but especially the last 6 months, we've started to see that now we can use this reasoning capability with other tools, right? So we have these AIs that can reason and do multiple steps, but now we can plug in software and other tools that allow the AI to have skills and abilities, right? So now the AI can do more for us. So we're kind of here now. And where this moves is much further on. It kind of ending with a world where AI does a lot of the stuff we never want to do anymore, right? The stuff that most people probably wouldn't mind AI taking over. That's kind of where the capability will go, where you can have a whole team or organization of AI. So that's where the technology is headed. So what I was starting to talk about, I kind of lost it there a little bit on that slide, but talking about, is there anything holding you back, right? So this is a good year to get involved with AI, 2025. But there might be some things that have held you back thus far. And we want to point out that there is a little bit of psychology to all this, because it's a little counterintuitive, right? It's very transformational and different. So, for me, I know Jennifer has some anecdotal input too, because she's been through both certifications that we built and helped create, but she's been through both. And she kind of went through some of these, right? But we just want to kind of point this out. So as you go down this path, this journey of learning AI, just be aware that you might go through some of these stages. But I'm going to hand it to Jennifer real quick, just to maybe share a couple of examples of how you kind of were impacted by learning AI.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe you're familiar with the 5 stages of grief. These, if you read them a little bit more in detail, are specifically about AI adoption and those stages that you may go through. So yeah, it's interesting, I think, the fear really drives kind of that beginning step. And I noticed at first that resistance to it. And as soon as I started moving forward with just getting to know it a little bit and understanding it, I found a little quicker progression between, I think, the second and third, but I almost feel like this overwhelming, as you see in the 4th step, of this struggle to adapt the inevitability of AI and feeling overwhelmed. I think that was an interesting point for me to reflect on, of just, wow, there's so many tools out there that are being kind of pushed, and where do I start? And what's best for what's best for me? Where are my needs at? And without really understanding the capabilities of what AI can really do, it was hard for me to identify the needs that could possibly be met by this AI integration. So I just thought I'd share that one specifically as this kind of overwhelming that can come at multiple stages. But I felt this flood of information coming in and not knowing exactly where to go. And I think Rob has helped me quite a lot with that. And hopefully, if you progress through us with this workshop and further, you'll understand a little bit more of that direction.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's just very different. And a lot of people sometimes feel guilty. I mean, we're going through this process of universities and schools and companies, and how do people use this? A lot of companies are sort of uneven in their approach, right, in terms of how they're doing it. And so this is kind of what this is all about today, is how do you even things out? How do you get everybody on the same page with this and kind of feel like, okay, for our brand, this is the pace we should go out. This is everybody's on the same page. It's our pace. It's our, we're doing things for our brand that matter, right? That's all we're trying to get to. But if you kind of have everybody off in different places, kind of learning on their own, they're kind of grappling with different stages of this, wondering, how far should I go? Should I be creating things that, maybe my boss doesn't want me to do that, or I don't know what to do, right? So it is about understanding some different things about, being comfortable on your team. But anyway, we'll get on the same page. Thanks for sharing that, Jennifer. But maybe think about, what stage do you find yourself in today? If some of you may be already using this, maybe you're somewhere, right, in this process. But just know, full acceptance is really the end game here. So nothing is going to stop this at this point. And, might as well jump on this early rather than wait until your colleagues or other competitors are doing it at a different level. So we're going to now get into it. So we've been talking about it. So let's go ahead and get into it a little bit. We're going to go ahead and show you now a demonstration. And not only is it going to show you how, if you haven't seen a lot of ChatGPT, you'll see obviously how it works. Jennifer's going to walk us through this demonstration, but it's also going to dive into just how powerful just one role can be transformed. And we're going to use VP of Franchise Development to kind of demonstrate exactly how that might transform a role like that, and what that might mean from a time savings and a monetary impact. So we're going to do a AI impact analysis for you right now. Jennifer,
yeah, let's get started. So like he said, we're going to start with the VP of Franchise Development. And so it's going to ask us a little bit of, what's your role? Maybe you want to copy and paste a LinkedIn profile or give it just some more context. Here I have just copy and pasted a little description: Vice President of Franchise Development at Senior Care Authority, just an emerging brand with about 100 locations, just to give it a little bit more context of this, and as well as a URL to the website, so it can pull information together for our next step. So what it's going to do here is this AI assistant is going to create an AI role plan. So it's going to draft a matrix for us, an 8x8 matrix of the competencies, as you'll see on the top, and deliverables. So this may be something you resonate with. Maybe your role is a little bit different, and what's great about this is you can tweak it. You can put your feedback into ChatGPT and say, hey, I don't do expansion roadmap documents, and fine tune it to a role plan that's applicable to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is, so we're going to say this a lot. AI is interactive, right? It's conversational. It can get it right if you just talk to it and ask it, much like you would another person if they were doing work for you and you wanted to refine it. So you can look at this and say, okay, great. I see a lot of good stuff in there. And me having a background that I have, I kind of know, okay, this is a lot of good stuff. But of course, you're going to have your own sort of focus and priorities. And we're going to get into that more, by the way. How we get into that we'll talk about it later. But we're going to zero in today on one of these, just to show you the power with just one deliverable. And so, but you can refine it first, and you'll see what you can use it for later. But ultimately, you just ask it, hey, let's focus more on sales and marketing, right? Let's do, instead of 64, let's do 32, 4x4. I mean, it can do, it's sort of an arbitrary. We felt 8x8 would encapsulate pretty much the entire role. There's not much left out. But at the end of the day, you'll focus where you want. So why don't we focus on AI-generated outreach emails? I see that there. I like the first three. They all look very interesting, but why don't we do that one and see how that can help us with AI?
All right. So yeah, it's asking us which role deliverable. And today we're going to pick AI-generated outreach emails. So it's gonna give us 10 ways that AI can really help us with this deliverable. And so there's a lot of different ways. Most commonly, maybe we think text to text, right? It can generate maybe like these highly personalized outreach emails based on the information that we put in as a text. It also can create an image, right? Custom visuals from our text that we input. Or we can put in an image and it can give us a text out, and there's lots of different ways that we can explore, just as voice to text, web to text, right? Kind of like what we did at the beginning, putting that URL in, and it giving some text output as well.
I wanted to jump in real quick because I'm reading, what does it say? Is it 6? After a discovery call, AI can transcribe and summarize key points into a personal follow-up email reinforcing. It's just so like little things like that you, instead of taking 20 minutes to do, you can take 2 minutes, but it's just amazing. And there's just, like I said, here's 8 quick ways, but we're gonna extrapolate quite a bit here in a minute. But
awesome. Yeah. So it's asking us if we'd like to move to this next step in creating a draft. So yeah, let's see what it's going to ask us to do next. To create this draft, something that you'll commonly see as we work with it are these step-by-step prompts. And it's going to give us these prompts where we can copy and paste basically the set of instructions to give it with context, each one after the other in order to them to build upon each other. And after, it's going to come up with multiple different prompts that we'll plug into a new chat through GPT. And after we plug in all of these, this is something we'll dive into a little bit later if you continue with us. But it'll draft that deliverable, which was, let's see if I remember right, it's the AI generated emails. Is that the one we picked? Yeah, AI generated outreach emails. So it'll actually finish this deliverable for us in the matter of minutes with just a quick copy and paste of these prompts.
Wow. Yeah, and again, what we're getting to here is first and foremost step by step. So the first thing to zero in is the AI does much better if it breaks down the plan. Remember the reasoners I showed you earlier. The AI is able to kind of do it really well now to break it down. So first step is to break it down into steps. The next step after that is to give a prompt for each step. So now you have a prompt chain, right? Which gives the output much more, it's more specific to what you're trying to get to. So that's one of the techniques that we kind of bake into all of our training and the way we show things. But yeah, that's what we're showing here. Pretty amazing.
Yeah. So today we're going to dive in a little bit with how much time AI can save us on just this one deliverable. If we were to follow these prompts and get the output that we desired, how much time is that really going to save us? So based off of some information that's in here about our role as the VP of Franchise Development, it'll list the tasks for this deliverable. And you may resonate with some of these as well. Personalizing emails for different leads, right? Researching and writing the email copy, just different steps you have to take in order to get to that final result. And it's estimating about how much time it's going to take us for. So if you look at the top, it says time without AI. So how much time would this really take you for each one of these tasks? And how much time with AI would it take you for each one of these tasks? So what may have taken you 2 hours will now take just 15 minutes per email. And then it'll give us the total time saved, using AI based on this algorithm. And this is I like this part where it says how AI is really going to help you with that specific task. Something really interesting to read through. Even if you pause and you want to look at it a little bit closer as you watch this. But yeah, it's very interesting to see, as it puts it all together based on maybe a salary, if this resonates with you, or an hourly rate, how much money you can actually save in productivity gains based off of just using AI in this role.
Yeah, and again, so we're giving an example right now, and while the VP of Fran Dev would probably oversee these types of things, we understand, like, we're using $72 an hour. Well, clearly, yes, it has to be overseen by the VP of Fran Dev, and maybe some of you guys are doing it as well, right? You're creating this stuff. But my point being, we're just using, it's automatically dialed into the role, right? So if we use something like VP, it's going to be a higher per hour, right? If we use a manager or some other role title, it would be a lower. So it will adapt. So when you're doing your role, it will be, specific to what makes sense for that, right? So that's what it's basing it on. It's looking at your hourly rate approximately for that kind of role. And then it kind of extrapolates, based on the time savings, how much money it's saving you. And that's just for the one of the 64 deliverables we looked at. So pretty amazing.
Right. So if you're curious, if that was just one deliverable, let's look at all of the deliverables, right? Over that whole matrix that we have. So it's going to do the same thing. It's going to list the competencies at the top. And within those competencies, all those deliverables, how much time with AI, without AI, how much time with AI, and the hours saved, and what AI is really going to do to help that, right? So yeah, if you look at market and territory analysis, AI can generate those reports. And yeah, you can read as you go, if you're interested, how specifically AI can help with those. So
yep, and you can, we'll leave the link below the video, and you'll be able to run this yourself for your role and take a look. But I mean, I think you could do this before you meet with your boss for your annual raise, right? So I'm going to really up my game this year. But yeah, it's amazing what this is showing us. And it's not, listen, it's real. I know it's sort of, yes, we're not saying every single deliverable you're focused on in a precise way, but this is amazing when you think about the amazing amount of productivity and cost savings equated to that just for one role, right? As I said, the goal would be to get everybody on the team using a similar framework to learn from, and then sharing ideas and implementing every day new ideas that help each other. So again, just one role, totally transformed. It's amazing.
Right. So what does this mean for you, right? So we can look at how AI is really going to, with this increased output, what can we really do with all of that extra time? So let's look and see how it suggests maybe we use that. So it starts with how to leverage the 95 hours of time saved per month. That's going to vary based on the roles. But
you're not allowed to golf. No golfing. No outside. We'd be outside in the sunlight, I think, if it were me. But that is amazing. 95 hours. It's like I'm just going to take 2 weeks off a month now, right?
Oh,
but yeah, it's amazing.
So we've got the bottom line optimization of payroll savings, right? So that is one option, right? But you may be interested in possibly the second one, which is growing the franchise. So if you can really have all this extra time, right? You can use AI to really double your productivity gains, and maybe double the number of personalized emails you send out, right? It already pulled in that deliverable that we worked on earlier. So yeah, you look at the strategic moves. And the third option, and it's not limited to this, but to shift your focus to high value initiatives. Rob, did you want to comment on this one?
No, I was just going to get to the last one. The last one is the exciting one. It's the one we really, obviously this isn't about trying to make replacements, right? We're wanting everybody to be more productive. And with that extra time, this is where you can invest, right? Where can we put that energy and time into innovating more, creating better products, right? Obviously, people have more time so they can shift their focus to different things that help your clients or your franchisees in a better way, right? So again, it's about really freeing up time to better serve your audience, which would be your customers and your franchisees. So yeah, that's part of it, right? So if we can do that across everybody's role, that's where you can really do some unique things.
Right. Yeah. So, this is something that take your time with it, and really plug in your own and see see where your imagination goes. But we'll flip over for now back to the presentation. So if I just remove that, Rob, you can put yours up.
All right. There we are. Okay. That guy's happy. All right. So you got a lot on your mind right now, right? So hopefully in that demonstration, you were thinking about something on there that was like, wow, I could do that. I could automate that. I could get that done faster. So maybe just kind of break it down into anything that you might have been excited about what you saw. There's probably maybe something that you're concerned about, you're wondering about, right? And of course, maybe there was something on that list that you want to start with. So just kind of, with that in mind, I'm sure that's going to create a lot of questions, right? And so we got you covered. Okay. You're probably wondering, all right, that looked interesting. That was amazing, but how do we move on with this? What's the next step? And so what we've done is really put together a couple different pathways, right? The first one is we know that franchisors have to master AI to stay competitive. So we do have a series of workshops and training that we provide, and we call them the Black Belt. We have a Black Belt Efficiency and a Black Belt Essentials course. And it's like it sounds. It's an 8-module course that actually has a gray belt in the beginning, but goes from white through black. And so it's built to really upskill your entire team, right? So that everybody can be focused on their role and how AI can be used in their role on a daily basis, right? And so with that comes, workflow automation, ideas, better training, right? And peers supporting peers, right? What we find is when people start implementing these things, when coworkers are doing it together, they're sharing ideas. You're not going to discover things at the same rate or have the same ideas. So everybody's sharing what they used AI for, and that really can accelerate your success. So just to give you a quick peek, you could certainly look at this and read it, take a screenshot, whatever, or pause it. But bottom line, what we're trying to get across is we have a really powerful certification course. We have an efficiency and an essential course. Both of them provide certification. And so there is homework each week. And so we take you through the journey. And so we start you with the white belt, which is really about the fundamentals of how to use these tools, right? The large language models, the LLMs they're called. And most people know ChatGPT. That's what we teach from, but you can use other tools as you go through the journey. But basically we take it kind of in the beginning with how that tool works, the inputs, the outputs, like Jennifer went through with you, how we showed you all the ways you can use AI in one role, the text in, text out, image in, text out, so forth, voice in, text out kind of stuff. So there's a lot of different ways to interact with it. So we start there, and then at the end on the black belt, we really get into, you're able to put together an automated tool, or at least a planning guide for an automated agent, and really understanding how that would work. And the big accomplishment there isn't learning how to do that. We've got you there, but it's identifying processes, right, where you believe you can automate or make better or take to another level with the capability of AI, and you'll be able to spot that better as you move through the course. All right. So if you want to learn more about what we just covered, if you'd like to go in a little deeper, if you'd like to kind of walk through what we just did, sort of one-on-one or with a small group, we can go through your roles with you and certainly look at that. But also, more importantly than that, we can actually look at an agent roadmap, right? So an AI agent is a workflow and automation with an AI in it, right? So It can do things that normally a person would have to be there for. So we can look at a roadmap for you, and kind of plan it out, help you see, all right, what priorities should you set and where should you start if you're not already started. We have a pilot program that goes with that. Obviously, once we identify a roadmap, we want to kind of, where do we start? And we want to do it a certain way where we understand how to launch a new product or service within a franchise brand. And we know that there needs to be a little time to test and do a proof of concept. And so we have an exclusive way to take you through a pilot to really reduce your risk of not being ready, and making sure everything is on brand and the way you would like it to be, so that you can move forward. So we're really good at that. And we would invite you to be part of that exclusive AI program or pilot program. And as we said earlier in our presentation, we do have a podcast that we host, and we would love to have you on it to talk about AI and, transformation stories and innovation and ways you're helping people. And that's really what we like to focus on. So we'd invite you to do that and be a part of our podcast. Some of you are here today or might be watching this because you've been on our podcast. So we have certainly reached out to many of our guests. So anyways, that kind of sums it up. And Jennifer, I don't know if you have any last minute housekeeping or anything else to add.
Let's see. No, I think you covered it pretty well. Yeah, I guess one thing I would just add would be like, with that AI assessment, the AI opportunity assessment, it's like, it's a great way for us to connect and get to know your needs. And whether you're interested in the education or the AI agent implementation or both, it's just a great way to talk and discover where you're at, even what you're feeling after this, some of those fears, some of those excitements, and what you'd like to start with. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, look, we're all learning. We know that this is a new journey for you, or at least somewhat new. Some of you have been doing it a while. But if you're doing it, it's just at the beginning stages of doing it for a while. So there's a lot more to be done, right? And so we'd be happy to do that, sit down with you and really look at your future together. But anyways, if you would like to learn more, you can certainly scan the QR code, or on the page here, you can go ahead and click whatever buttons are available there. But we'll make sure you have everything you need. We hope you got a lot from the presentation today, and bye for now.